Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you fine folks are watching this wonderful broadcast. It's the Iron Thunder Racing Network back for the ITRL Premier Series Season 10. And tonight we are live from the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. This place should be Buc-ee's, Walmart Distribution Center, Amazon Fulfillment Center. This track shouldn't exist. But we are racing here tonight. It should put on an exciting race, I hope. Because, it's 134 laps tonight. I believe we'll put on a good race. So, we got that going for us. And tonight's race is called the Pickle Gang 201. 201 miles here tonight. In this mile and a half oval. The quad oval. We are on to round number 3. Zach Millett is the only guy who's won races so far in the actual season. I mean, we've had a couple of winners in our preliminary events, but Millett has earned both of the points-paying races so far, and he is the only driver locked in to the playoffs. As we'll go ahead and just show our points real quick, as there's drivers missing. We are missing some drivers here, I think. All right, we get to play the game of figure out which driver is missing from our graphics. That's my favorite game to play. It looks like third place in points, Winkelspecht is not here. I mean, he does have a pretty good buffer to the cut line right now, but it's still early on in the season, so it could fluctuate a lot. But he is one of the drivers missing here, but most of our top 10 is here. Tucker, Kevin West, Sawyer Operating Clusers, Kevin Hash, Daniel Wiles, and Eric Trapeau are all here. Millett with a commanding 24-point lead so far. We'll move further along here. Everyone 11th through 20th is here tonight. Treston Knott, Storm Patterson, Matt Cherry, Matt Quick, Josh Cully, and Brandon Hamitat are your current 16 drivers in the playoff field right now. Hamitat has a 2-point lead over Chris Gale, which is the cut line right now. 3 points over Nathan Shiflett, Ryan Muniz, and Brian Wortman. Rounding out the rest of your points here, you can see we're also missing a couple guys. We're missing 24th and 25th in points. Kevin Freese is also not here again tonight. Same thing with Rance Llewellyn. Both drivers have missed last week. They're two drivers who are not here tonight. But you can see Sam Green, BJ Hash, Roy Grande, Matthew Carabina, and Luke Carbonneau are also here tonight. And here's the rest of your drivers. You can also see that Jason Raudenbush is also not here. He's another driver who has scored points. Two drivers who have yet to make a start this season are not on the points graphic. So that is your points. We're going to try our best to get the stage points in and give you an accurate look as the night goes on. For how that points plays out. It'll be very more important once we get around race 6, 7, 8, closer to that playoff elimination race at Darlington. So there is that. Yeah, we got 134 laps tonight. The stages are on lap number 30 and lap number 70. Field run could be anywhere from between 34 to about 38 laps, so there's a chance we might be seeing pit stops in station number 2 tonight. It is a pretty decently tough track to drive. Some drivers I have heard have said the track is a little bit tight. It does free up on them a little bit further into a run we get. Just here on iRacing and in real life, I believe these guys are able to run 3 and 4 wide open, so that's going to burn the right rear tire up a lot and make it difficult. But taking a look at things here, most drivers have completed their qualifying lap. We'll take a look and see some drivers who are still on the racetrack. Last week's winner, and the only winner in points paying race, is Zach Millett, currently on the racetrack trying to get his qualifying lap down. As he comes off at turn number 4, his lap of we'll see here, 29.487 will be fast enough to put him as the fastest car into qualifying session tonight. It also shows Sam Green on the track, but this does not look like a qualifying lap being put down. And then Ray right now also is on the track, but does not look like a lap is being put down. We're seeing Wortman, Cully, BJ Hash, Roy Grande. Roy Grande looked like he did run his lap, maybe hit the wall somewhere in there. John Mustaine, Treston Knott also ran a lap, but must have hit the wall somewhere. Same thing with Sam Green. a lap was registered, but it looks like they hit a wall along the way. But qualifying should be wrapping up here in about 10 seconds. Doesn't look like anyone's going to compete with Millet. Zach Millet will earn the pole, earn himself another bonus point for qualifying on the pole tonight, making sure the logo is not on the screen, which we're good. We learned from our mistakes last week, so hell yeah. We just gotta go through our starting lineup now, which we can do that as cars are starting to get on the grid here. And again, Zach Millet on the pole. He's currently not being shown on the racetrack. But again, he put down a 24.497, I believe, as the fastest lap in qualifying. Kevin West, he's also not currently on the route. Actually, he is on the racetrack now. We actually need to go to the chase cam and actually reset. So we need to do some finagling here and get this back on your screen. But Kevin West in that 01 Trailer Park Dude on TikTok Chevrolet is starting second tonight. Dalton Tucker, he'll be starting third, number 21. Capital Materials Inc., number 21. Brian Klusters in the ITRN Toyota Camrys will be starting fourth. Chris Gale in that Cadillac will be starting fifth. Storm Patterson in that Budweiser, number 8. Here on the Other Thing Racing Network, we do not restrain showing this Budweiser number 8, so unlike Talladega. But he'll be starting 6th tonight. Starting 7th will be Sawyer Ryan, number 35, DeWalt Toyota. 8th will be Daniel Wiles in that Team Conti America Sim Racing. I believe that's what's also on that hood. Number 88 Machine. Starting 9th will be the Target Machine, number 81, Ryan Muniz. And rounding out our top 10 tonight will be Kevin Hash in that Stripper Glitter, number 03 Chevrolet. 11th will be Eric Trapeau in that SFTV Autism Speaks Canada, number 97 Chevy. Matt Sherry will be starting 12th in that Toyota Gazoo's Racing, number 45. 13th, we'll see Luke Carbonneau, again, another SFTV Chevrolet. He's in number 92. Matt Quick in that Angry Cat Psychedelic Scheme will be starting 14th. Zach Kreiser switching it up again. Will be in a Cheetos Machine this week, the number 12. Will be starting 15th. His teammates also in a Cheeto Machine. We'll be starting 16th in the number 4 Machine, Nathan Shiflett. Caleb Rise in that Crown Royal, number 67 Toyota, will be starting 17th. Matthew Klusterhuis in his Matthew Klusterhuis, number 24, will be starting 18th. Brandon Pamerton in the Wheeling, number 48, will be starting 19th. Chaz Justice in that South Cove Pickleball Machine will be starting 20th. 21st will be Matthew Carabina. 22nd will be Brian Russi. 23rd will be Jeff Pete. 24th, Ray Rittenauer. 25th will be Josh Coley. 26th will be Roy Grande. 27th, but does not look like he's grading, will be John Usain Jr. 28th will be Treston Knott in that Smitty's Supply Inc., number 15. 29th will be Sam Green at Cosmic Motorsports, number 51. And starting 30th tonight will be number 74 in that Racing for Jesus Machine, Brian Wortman. And last car starting the field tonight will be the Sunoco number 78 of Bobby Hash. But yeah, that is our starting lineup tonight. As the iRacing.com pace car will go ahead and take a hard left-hand turn down pit road. 134 laps, 30 laps is stage number 1. And we will be racing here from Texas. As lap 1 comes to completion here, Millet was not challenged really much at all here on lap number 1. He was able to pull up to about a 3-4 car length lead here over now Brandon Kluster, who's side-by-side for second with Kevin West. The number 25 Machine will complete the pass here through 1 and 2. He'll take over second place here as most of the top 5 is single filed out here. We'll have to look further back on to 9th place here as Muniz is challenging Sawyer Ott here. So we side-by-side through 3 and 4. Again, 3 and 4, pretty much a wide open corner for these drivers tonight. as Muniz was able to complete the pass. Sawyer's going to drop a couple spots here, as now Kevin Hash will go ahead and pass him here. 1 and 2 is going to be the tricky part. They're going to have to really slow up, use the brakes here, shift down into 4th. Through 3 and 4, they might be up into 5th gear. I know a lot of drivers here, a couple I've actually talked to, maybe talking about shifting here. Some might not shift through 3 and 4. It's one of those where it's right on the line. You can go through there without shifting. Can take a little bit of advantage here, save without shifting on the front straightaway. But 1 and 2 is a really tricky part of this corner ever since they did the reconfiguration back in 2018. It's still Millet and Klusser the front 2 here. Storm Patterson's now over the back bumper, the number 21 machine, and Dalton Tucker here for 4th. Trying to see if he can set up a run here, potentially get him back at 1 and 2. I feel like 1 and 2 is going to be the part of the racetrack where these guys are going to be able to attack a lot. 3 and 4, they're going to have to try to get as big of a run off they can attempt to make the pass through 1 and 2. Things are pretty equaled out here, but we'll have to go back to Eric Drapeau challenging Matt Cherry here. It actually might be the other way around. It looks like the 45 machine gets around number 97. He moves up to 11th, as it's pretty stand pat here on the racetrack, as Tucker's all over the back bumper of West here for 3rd off of 4. And that's going to subside for now. He'll have to try it again here shortly. Looks like 30 cars came out here to complete the challenge tonight here at Texas. Again, we're still seeing the issue here. I thought I'd fix that issue where you see guys who are laps down even though they're not. It does look like Sam Green is on pit road. Might have had a moment there. Hit the wall off of 2 or 4 or in one of those first couple laps there. But he is 5 laps down. But you see Brian Rusi, BJ Hash, and Brian Wortman, they're all still on the racetrack. Don't know why they're not showing up correctly. Like I said, I changed settings to hopefully negate that issue, but it doesn't look like it was fixed here. Again, it doesn't really look like much is really going on the racetrack here. Sawyerot got passed by Matt Cherry for 10th. And it just looks like it's just going to be follow the leader here until tires start to wear here, as Eric Drapeau's not going to take advantage here. Sorry, after 1 and 2. Again, I feel like this is going to be the prime passing zone going into 1 and 2 when you shift down. It's just you're carrying so much speed through 3 and 4. There's not really much of a speed difference there. As you can see, Drapeau really had a run there. Could have potentially thought about sticking to the inside of Cherry, but thought better of it and is probably going to try to set it up again for 1 and 2. Shiflett's closing out on the 89 machine here. This is going to be a battle for 14th Bruin. As he's going to have to attempt that again here. As it looked like the run he had from 3 and 4 didn't really do much. Klusers was able to pull away a little bit from 3rd place. He's now still setting his eyes here on the number 31 machine, who's trying to become, I believe, the first person in league history to go 3 in a row in the Premier Series. We've had it happen before in our other series, in the Rush Series, the Truck Series, and the ARCA Series. I do believe we've had guys go 3 in a row. I might get fact checked later on that information, but I do believe, because we did look at this a week ago when we were looking through the history and whatnot. But the Premier Series is the only series where we haven't had anyone go 3 wins in a row. So Millet's trying to become the first driver in the Premier Series to do that, as we have a battle for 3rd here. As Tucker looks like he's going to try to complete the pass on the outside of the 01 machine. And he will. Going into turn 3, he'll have 3rd place secured. But those two racing side by side, they lost about 3/4 tenths of a second here. As Gale's now challenging the inside of the 88 of Wiles here. This is going to be a battle for 7th. I feel like he's going to be in a prime spot to complete the pass going into 1 and 2. And Wiles, unfortunately, might lose a couple spots here, as Kevin Hash is going to be able to get to the inside of him. Looks like he drifted up a tiny bit. Might have hurt that quarter entrance speed. And it's going to have to just sit there and try it again through 3 and 4. Not really missing anything out front here. First really battle is this battle here for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Cherry is now challenging Kevin Hash for 9th. At the line, he would have grabbed it. He's going to try it again using the high side 1 and 2. There is usable grooves up there in 1 and 2 when you get out there. It's a very narrow span. I would say it's about a 2 wide groove. Anything a little bit higher than racing 2 wide, you're getting a little bit of a danger zone. It's not really going to be easy to race up there, especially after they're able to put an hour's worth of practice rubber down onto this racetrack. But those battles look to have subsided for now, as Drapeau's not going to set his eyes on Cherry here after he attempted to make the pass using, I would call, the third lane in 1-2. He's going to have to try to recuperate and see if he can hold on to 9th place. All right, 10th place. He's in 10th. But here comes Eric Drapeau. He's going to be side by side through 3 and 4. Both drivers running about 175, 176 here. Looked like Cherry might have gotten a little bit tight there. Let off just a little bit, but it's going to be still side by side as they enter turn 1. Again, Eric Drapeau's in the preferred line for this. Right about there, where you see Cherry's racing, I would say that's the utmost highest you can go without running in any sort of danger. Nothing's changed out front. Still Zach Millett as we're going to come complete the halfway point, stage number 1. Cherry's been able to hold off Drapeau, but a little bit further back, Brandon Pamitan's on the charge here. Was able to get around Sawyer. Now he's going to set his eyes on Matt Quick here. These are about 1 second behind Cherry and Drapeau. Pamitat to get a little bit loose there. He's no harm, no foul there. And Sawyer's going to see if he can challenge that there, but nothing really able to do that. As we do have a 4-car battle back here with Matt Klusserhoos, Caleb Rise, Nathan Shiflett, and Josh Cully. Matt Klusserhoos is going to run that again. I feel like the utmost you can run in a high groove here in 1-2, try to defend a position. Same thing with Sawyer. He's going to try to see if he can take that spot back from Brandon Pamitat. Both going to be pretty equal speed here through 1 and 2. Looked like Pamitat was a little bit, 3 and 4. Pamitat looks to be a little bit slower, but he's able to maintain that spot as he comes to completion on lap number 17. Nothing really to talk about in front of this here. It's all about 3-4 car lengths behind, besides Wiles here on Muniz. He's starting to close the gap here on 6th place. Lost a couple spots early, but now he's going to try to rebound here. Drapeau, Cherry, Gale, these 3 are battling for 9th on the racetrack. As Cherry's going to use a runoff at turn number 4 to get to the inside of Chris Gale. Gale's going to potentially lose 1, I think. He's going to get real high there. He's going to lose 2 here. As Drapeau, I think, is going to be able to clear him. He's going to drop back to 11th outside the stage points paying position here. Shiflett was able to get around Rise here for 17th place, as that was really our only battle on the racetrack. Not really seeing any battles further on back here. These guys are getting about the same distance behind guys up front. Again, timing and scoring might be a little wonky here. I don't know why it's not drawing all the cars for you guys, but it's still Zach Millett out front, who's led all 20 laps so far tonight. 10 to go on the stage. Again, nothing really looks to be at any sort of battle here, besides battle for 9th. Gale's still in that picture for 9th here, as more of these guys race here can potentially draw in Matt Quick from 12th into this battle. Cherry was able to pull Drapeau there a little bit through 3 and 4, so he's able to hang on. As Kevin Hash is now setting his eyes on Ryan Muniz. This is for 8th. Muniz, again, I feel like that's a little bit too high, but ooh, you got real close there. You might have got a little bit tight there off of 2, but he's able to maintain 8th place for now. As again, the battle for 9th is still 9th, 10th, and 11th is still the closest battle on the racetrack. Even oh no, this looks a little bit more exciting here. Shiflet's on the inside of Sarat. This is a battle for 16th place. Shiflet's able to get around. Rise now sets his eyes on potentially getting around here. Coley's on the inside of Matt Klusterhuis. That's a battle for 14th. And it looks like Coley had the advantage here. So I was actually able to maintain with Shiflet through 1 and 2. Things are going to start to stack up here a little bit. As Matt Klusterhuis looks like he was maybe side drafting a little bit, but he's going to follow the line, stay behind Josh Coley. Sarat looked like he might have got a little bit tight there off of 4. He's going to lose 1. Now he's going to be side by side with Rise here. This is now 17th place, the battle we're looking at. As nothing's really changed that battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th. So this is the best battle on the racetrack at this moment in time, as Zach Millett has pulled out to about an 0.8 of a second lead over Brandon Klusterhuis. But as we say that, Klusterhuis is getting challenged for second here by Kevin West. West is able to get to the inside of him. Klusterhuis running a little bit higher than I think most drivers should be here in 1 and 2. And he's going to end up losing second place. So move Kevin West up to second. As Storm Patterson's all over the back bumper of Wiles. This is now the battle for 5th. Wiles is able to pull ahead here. Had a little bit cleaner air compared to Storm there. It's a battle for 15th is heating up as Shiflet's able to get the inside of Matt Klusterhuis. From what I heard, it does get a little bit looser as the run goes on. Again, that 3 and 4, with you being able to run 3 and 4 wide open as long as you can, it's going to be 3 wide here. Sarat goes to the extreme top here to see if he can get it done. Gonna be real tight. Oh, I think Sarat got a little bit loose there. But he was able to complete the pass on Klusterhuis, trying to challenge Shiflet here. Rise is also able to get around Matt Klusterhuis. As we come to 3 laps to go in the stage. 4 laps to go in the stage. 26 complete, 4 to go. Again, this is our best battle on the racetrack. Everyone before this is about 0.3 of a second difference between the car in front of them. I mean, Roy Grande, he's going to be challenging Matt Klusterhuis here. Zach Reiser, he's also was within range there of a battle on Chaz Justice. As West starts to reel in Mill here with 2 to go in the stage. Sorry, 3 to go. I thought we were in 28. That's my bad. But he is starting to reel him in here. It's about 0.8 of a second when Klusterhuis was back there. But Brandon Klusterhuis looks like he has fallen off the pace a little bit here. Might have used his stuff up a little bit too much there, chasing down Millett. Again, West is reeling him in. 2 to go in the stage. Pit road is closed. Millett has led all 28 laps so far. Again, this is kind of the closest battle here. Maybe the battle for 8th in the top 10. West is really closing it in now. It's about about 0.25 of a second to gap here for first and second. As a white flag is out, West to get loose there off of turn 4, so that's going to negate anything he gained there. So we have 1 lap to go on the stage. Yeah, nothing really, I would say, potentially changing here in the top 10. Millett qualifying the pole and has led all 30 laps here of stage number 1 so far. As he'll come through 3 and 4 the final time, unless he plows down that wall off of turn number 4. Zach Millett will win stage number 1 here tonight at Texas. With Kevin West finishing 2nd, Brandon Klusterhuis finishing 3rd, Dalton Tucker 4th, Daniel Wise 5th, Storm Patterson 6th, Kevin Hash 7th, Ryan Muniz 8th, Eric Chapeau 9th, and Matt Quick 10th. So we'll quickly try to go update that for you so we can get this all up to date. Again, it was, as you see it on your screen, that is you guys who finished in the top 10 who earned stage points. Wow, I was getting 6 points tonight. Storm Patterson, after a luck he had last week, Getting some much needed stage points. Munet's getting some needed stage points too. He's a few behind the cut line there. As we'll let these guys make their pit stops and we'll pull them up into the booth. 3101 25 21 88 803 81 97 89. Again, that was your stage results. But the first pit stops, I'm willing to bet some of these guys want to come down pit road and get tires on this machine. This, again, look, like I said, that right rear tire are gonna be potentially screening for some drivers. And yes, I'll agree. Those two spotters are going to be rough. I don't know if they actually have spotters in session or whatnot, but I would agree. The 97, 92 do look very, very familiar. Make sure this is on the correct audio output, so you guys can hear when I pull in stage 1 winner tonight. Find him here. Here he is. We'll pull him up into the booth. 2-time winner on the season, stage 1 winner, Zach Millett.
Hey, what's up, man?
Pretty dominant stage number 1. You led all 30 laps. 31 so far. I mean, you've led every lap tonight. And you're in contention to lead them all. How's that feel?
It feels good, man. I don't know if I can get them all, but I'm going to try to stay up here as long as I can. Kevin had a really good run there. His long run pace is incredible tonight, and he had better tires than all of us, so he's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, I did notice that there towards the end of the stage there. Once he got by the 25 machine, he was able to start reeling you in there. Might have been a little bit closer there, but it looked like he messed up the corner exit there off of turn 4 with 2 to go in the stage.
Yeah, it's funny because I did the same thing about 10 laps prior. And it seems like once you do that, your right rear is just mad at you the rest of the run. So it's pretty sketchy.
You know, those iRacing tires, they get you sometimes.
Yeah, wicked.
Well, congratulations on winning stage number 1. We'll go ahead and let you get back down there, talk over potential strategy you need to talk over here for stage number 2.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
As that was stage 1 winner, Zach Millett. Brandon Klusers did gain a spot on pit road there. It looked like Kevin West had a pretty rough pit stop. I don't know if he overdrove his pit box or what, but he has fallen back to 5th place. So kind of a rough spot for him here, trying to see if he can go challenge Millett here in the second stage. Second stage does end on lap number 70, so we're going to have about, trying to do the math here, we're going to come to restart this race on lap number 34. We'll have roughly, doing the math, 70 minus 34 is about 36 laps. So it's going to be, I say, within that fuel range. I was given numbers. Again, I don't 100% trust some of these guys. I might be keeping a little bit of information back, but it's about in the ballpark of 34 to 38 laps. So they should be good based on my calculations to make it here at the end of stage number 2. But the iRacing.com pace car is off the racing surface. Millett's going to hit this wonderful restart zone here. And we're back racing here at Texas. It's Brandon Klusers got a terrible restart in the outside lane. Give Dalton Tucker the advantage. Kevin West the advantage. Give those 3 America Racing Team cars 1, 2, 3 here on the restart. This Klusers is going to try to rebound as much as he can here through 1 and 2. But he's just going to have to fall back in line into 4th with Storm Patterson all over his back bumper here going into turn number 3. Chris Gale's going to look on the high side of Eric Drapeau, but Drapeau's going to be able to complete that pass here, as I'm willing to bet these guys feel a lot better going through 3 and 4 with that right rear tire not being 2 million degrees. And just getting word from race control, the 88 machine of Wiles, he had to restart towards the back of the pack. Drove through too many pit boxes on his pit stop. I don't know if that was pit entry or pit exit, but you're only allowed a certain number of pit boxes to be driven through when you come onto pit road. Things start to settle down here again. Klusterhuis is still being challenged here by the 8 machine of Storm Patterson. Again, these guys are going to feel good. I feel like for the first about 10, 15 laps, that right rear tire is going to start to go. It looks like the 35 machine potentially got the wall there off of turn number 2. If he didn't, it was very, very close. Closer than he probably wanted to be. Tucker has been able to stay here close with Millet here, trying to put a challenge onto him, maybe get him use up his stuff a little bit here, as we're not going to have a side-by-side battle. This is going to be a battle for 6th here between Muniz and Hash. The Storm Patterson's going to start blocking both lanes down the back straightaway, as Brian Klusterhuis is all over the back bumper of West through 3 and 4. Just going to have to stay in line. Getting so equal speed through 3 and 4. It's just got to get decent run off of 3 and 4 to make an attempt in 1 and 2. The slowest point on this racetrack. Hash and Muniz are still side by side. This is still the battle for 6th. Muniz still has the advantage here. It looks like Cole was able to get around Sawyer Ott for 12th back there. Kevin Hash does have the advantage here through 3 and 4. He's going to be able to clear Muniz, move him up to 6th. Chris Gale's challenging Eric DePro on the inside. It's going to be the battle for 9th. Sorry, battle for 8th. Gale had the advantage here early part of 1 and 2. I would expect a little bit, maybe a better run for DePro off that higher lane down the back straightaway, as that's the case we saw there on the screen. DePro had a little bit of a better run. Ooh, things are getting a little bit tight here off of 4. Again, DePro using that high line is going to have the advantage. He's going to have 9th for now. Sorry, 8th for now, as Gale's going to try again on the inside line here. I feel like more cars are going to run that outer groove the little bit wider it gets. You might be able to see maybe 2.5 lanes, but that's just the issue with this version of Texas. I would even say it would be, if we still had that older layout pre-2018, it would still be an issue, because it would still be, I feel like in these cars here, as Muniz is starting to drop back here. It looks like Gale might have got the wall there on the entry of turn number 1. As that gives Brandon Panatat an opportunity here, getting real tight off turn number 2, trying to stay side by side with Chris Gale. No harm, no foul, no contact made. Panatat's trying to get up to 9th place here. Apparently has it though. Millet not really able to pull away this run. He was able to have, I say, about a 0.3 of a second gap on Klusterhuis about this point of the run. These guys have been out here about 10 laps, ran about, oh, there's contact, hard contact on the wall. I think that's the 48 machine of Brandon Panatat. Looked like he got tight off of turn number 2 there. Hit the wall. I don't think he might got that warning that said wheel damage. Doesn't show that he has a black flag, so he should be fine. But again, that wheel could be a little bit out of whack there. Again, he did hit that wall pretty hard coming off turn number 2 there last time. It's just an issue with this corner. It's so flat, no banking. It's like 3 wide further back here. That looks like Jeff Pete in the top of it. No, that's going to be the 18 of Roy Grande. This is all the way back in 16, 17, 18th. And as this cluster of cars is storming on here, is again, Storm Patterson's all over the back bumper of the 25 machines. Going to see if he can get a nose to the inside of him. Doesn't look like it. He's going to have to try again, get that run off. As Kevin West is going to be side by side with Eric Chapeau. Chapeau looks like he's getting that high line to work. I wouldn't really say the high. The second group, he's getting to look like he's getting to work for him through 3 and 4. As Tucker is the closest anyone has been to Millet tonight. He's been now within about 1/10 of a second here of Millet. So Millet hasn't been really able to drive away this run, unless he just learned something from the last run about that right rear tire trying to save it. Because we do have to run, again, it looks like about 6 laps green longer than we did in stage 1. Again, Drapeau was able to complete the pass here on West. Now he's going to set his eyes on the 8 machine of Storm Patterson. Okay, he's really using that high line well. Really able to get a run here. He's going to probably stay. No, he's going to stay half a groove up. Trying to get some clean air on that nose. But he's really been able to use that high line in 1 and 2 well. Which I really don't think that's truly the optimal line to run here. Where you see most of the cars on the racetrack running that bottom groove. I mean, you're getting clean air on the nose. It's a tight, I feel like the tightest point on the racetrack this car is going to be. You're going to get an excellent run down the back straightaway. You just don't really have anywhere to go with it because the car in front of you is able to use their mirror, their in-car camera, whatever they're using on them to go ahead and aero block that run you have. Because we kind of saw there, we're going to watch it again here. Drapeau's going to use that upper line through 1 and 2. He's going to have a decent run off because he's using that higher line. He's able to essentially back up the corner and use that corner exit. Doesn't really like he had it there this time, so terrible lap to commentate on it. But you had the ability to, in the car in front of him, to see that he's coming here with this run and attempt to do something with it and be able to block it and do what you need to do. Again, Tucker has been within that 10th and a half range here on Millet, 2/10, just not really able to pass him here. I don't know if he wants to try another line to see if he can do anything with it. He's just running in that direct dirty air behind that 31 machine. Just not really doing you benefits here. Again, things are pretty spicy back here for 16th place. Actually, you can go all the way back to 14th, 15th, 16th on back. Again, Pamitat did hit the wall a few laps ago off turn number 2, so I don't know if he's currently dealing with any sort of wheel damage or not. But that could be hindering him right now. It's looking like Shiflet might have missed the bomb in turn 3 and 4, as Rittenauer is going to be able to get to the inside here. If the stage were to end there, he would have finished 14th. Again, I feel like has the preferred line. Pamitat might lose. Yeah, he'll lose 14th for sure through this corner. And Wiles, he's been rebounding well. He's all the way up to 16th here. I think he restarted 25th on this restart. Again, had to go to the tail end of the longest line for driving through too many pit boxes on his pit stop. Again, like the first run on the first stage, nothing really to talk about here. As Kevin West was able to get around Eric Drapeau again, he's moved to 5th. I think Drapeau might be reaping the benefits of running that high line there through 1 and 2. That right rear tire might be cooked as we're approaching 20 laps run since they last pitted. We went 16 or so laps, give or take. Green flag ran on this, as he's potentially now going to lose another spot to Kevin Hash here. He's going to drop back to 7th. Yeah, as he's continuing to run that high line, that right rear tire, especially running in 1 and 2, might just be cooked. It's I would say the biggest issue with iRacing and their tire model. Get any sort of that right rear tire just heated up, and you're just fighting a loose handling condition for essentially the rest of the run. And right now, the rest of the run is till lap 70. So you have 16, 17 more laps to run in the stage. Again, this is just going off of kind of a VO number I was given. Oh, that's hard contact. That looked to be the 9 machine of Chris Gale. Ooh, that's potentially race over damage for him, as he's gonna have to watch everyone go by. He might have to complete a full another lap here. Don't know if he's gonna have an opportunity to get down to get into pit road, and there is enough of a hole there, as we will go back and watch what happened to him from the blimp cam replay. Oh, it just got loose and he tried to correct the car. That what happened there to the 9 machine. It just stepped out of him off of turn number 2, trying to push, I think, off of turn number 2. Yeah, right there. Boom. Ken, that might be a tell link. That actually might be terminal enough damage for iRacing to say, hey, your race is done. We can't fix this car. You need to essentially just alt F4 out of the game. That is rough. But again, I feel like that's one of the danger spots. Getting tight off of 4 and then getting loose off of 2. Especially with this right rear tire and how fast, again, we're talking about going through 3 and 4. Again, 3 and 4, again, about 15 laps into a run, you can go wide open. You know, that first 15 laps of that run, you can go wide open in there. So the longer you run there, the more heated up it gets. And again, he's just not good in these tires, and it's just going to cause what happened to Chris Gale there. As things have truly starting to widen out here, looking back, this is again Bow 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. Chaz Justice challenging Matt Kluser here for 20th. Hermitat's still falling here from his earlier contact in the wall. Trying to just hang on as long as he can. Again, we have stage caution coming up here in about 11 laps. So as longer you can just hold it out. I mean, right now, Later's in 1 and 2. He's in the start finish line. So it's, unless the thing completely just drops out on him, he's not losing a lap. So as long as he can hold on to it till this stage, try to get fixed whatever you can get fixed, the better. As Dalton Tucker has been able to pull out to about a second lead. Sorry, Zach Millett was able to pull out to a second lead over Dalton Tucker. I think Tucker might have used his stuff up there trying to race with Millett there. As Brian Klusterhuis is now reeling Tucker back in, and Kevin West, after his rough pit stop, is starting to reel second and third back in. By the way, I do believe we have 2 cars out of the race. We have another 2 3-lap cars in this race. Matt Cherry, BJ Hash. I believe he's truly is a lap down. Not truly sure. And Brian Wertman did just go a lap down there. Those guys are showing to be not on the lead lap here. As here goes Kevin West around. Again, this is about the point in stage 1 where he reeled in Brian Klusterhuis. And when we talked to Millett at the end of stage 1 there, after his pit stop, he said West had the best tires out of that bunch. So he might know something about saving that rear tire enough to make a late run. Could be beneficial here, especially when we get into this 64 lap stage number 3. Looking around here, Storm Patterson looks like he's starting to drop back a little bit, as Eric Drapeau is now on the outside of him through 3 and 4. As we come to 7 to go in the stage for these guys. Drapeau was able to get around him. Storm Patterson falls back to 7th. Taking a look here. Roy Grande is able to move up a couple spots here. He's now going to try to challenge Ray Rittenauer here using that high line. As this is a bow for 15th heating up. Grande using that line we saw Drapeau using earlier. He was using, again, that middle groove through 3 and 4, using that high line 1 and 2. And again, he looks like he's another one of those guys who was able to save his tires. So he's moving up here. And it's looking like Kevin West also was able to get around Dalton Tucker for second here. So he might be in a decent points paying position for him at the end of this race. And even at the end of the stage. It might be someone we need to keep an eye on at the end of the race here. 65 laps are complete. 69 laps to go. 5 to go on the stage. Again, I don't think these guys are worried about fuel. I think they should be fine. strategy might become interesting here in the final stage when you guys come down pit road. Especially some of these guys who've seen extreme tire fall off. I mean, Millet's last lap had clean air most of the run. A 30.856. Same thing from West. Tucker ran a 31.1. 31.1 from Clousters. A 30.8 from Kevin Hash. As there looks to be only 4 guys out there right now in that 30-second bracket still. Everyone else is in the 31 and above. As they're in complete lap number 67, halfway through this race, all led by this man out front, number 31 machine of Zach Millett. As we have 3 to go in the stage, doesn't really look like, unless he truly messes up here, any sort of issues here from in the race lead. And it'll really take a complete mess up from him to not win this stage here, as he has about a second gap. And it's not truly running any slower here. Ran a 30.9 compared to a 30.95 to a 39.1. So, again, there's only 3 cars on the racetrack in the 30-second bracket. As we're in 2 to go and the stage pit road is closed. Clousters is starting to reel in Tucker again for 3rd. Kind of in his position he's been most of this stage. Right there, can't really get close enough to challenge him here. As we come to 1 lap to go in the stage. Again, 10 points are on the line for the stage win. 1 point for 9th. As the battle for 8th is heating up. Josh Coley's currently trying to defend over Storm Patterson, but don't look now, as here comes Wiles. Alright, I think we're back. That one is a new one. I do not... That one hasn't happened in a while. Had all black screens there on that coming to the end of that stage, but we'll get your stage results for you. Get them those real quick. As my mic is being picked up, iRacing is being picked up. Alright, we're good there. Stage 2 results: Zach Millett, Kevin Westall, Tucker, Brandon Clousters, Kevin Hash, Eric Trapeau, Ryan Muniz, Josh Coley, Daniel Wiles, and Storm Patterson. So, there is that. Get everything back going here. Hopefully, we should be good. We're not going to run everything we're running. I think we're going to do something real quick. We're going to turn that down. I haven't had that one happen, so I don't, especially during a broadcast, I'm not truly sure, but sorry about that. We should hopefully be good to go here toward the end of the race here, as the restart is back going. As Zach Millett did win the race off pit road, he is your race leader still. I don't think anyone has challenged him here tonight for leading any laps. That one hurts. I don't know what happened. As Brandon Parmentad does look like he has a meatball flag. He's on pit road. So there is that. As Millett was able to... Oh, the caution's out, and it looks to be Matt Quick is around. In 3 and 4, ooh, gets hit by Carabina. Yikes. As we'll go ahead and watch the replay. First caution for incident tonight. We'll see what happens with the 89 machine of Matt Quick. Through 3. Oh. All right. Let's see if we can see. I don't think we can see true speeds here. But Quick is one of those guys who does like to try to save as much fuel as he can whenever possible, try to extend a run. And I don't know if he was trying to back up the corner there, try to save a little bit more fuel, sort of try to send it in there. And it just happened to wipe out the 89 machine there. Unless the contact from either the 19 or 87 was severe enough damage to potentially break a toe link, I think he should be fine. I didn't see him hit anything too hard. Again, it's all dependent on that contact from 87-19 on that car. Again, Zach Millet's still your race leader. As long as the computer doesn't black screen on me again, we'll pull him into the booth and give him that much needed stage 2 talk. You know, talk to him about winning stage number 2.
Hey, what's up, man?
Back to back, he won both stages, and you've led every lap.
Hey, you don't take the hats to victory lane until it's over.
That is true. We'll not we'll just stop talking about that. We saw our first caution for incident tonight. Do you think potentially we could be getting into that trend? Do you think you can keep it out front there, more restarts we go?
I hope it, that was just maybe a random one. Hopefully we can stay green and race. That'd be cool, especially with the green flag pit stops and stuff we're all going to have. So I don't know. I'm hoping that I can keep it up here. I like clean air. I don't know. It's going to switch things up here.
I agree. It could really switch things up here. But it looks like you're getting the lights off on the pace car here. Congratulations on winning stage number 2, and hopefully we'll talk to you here at the end of lap number 134.
I hope so, man. Thank you.
As that was the only stage winner of the night, Zach Millet. He's still your race leader. Again, he's led all 78 laps. I don't believe anyone stayed out underneath caution. Again, I truly wouldn't know. Hardware issues, we'll take a look at that after this race, because that one hasn't happened in a while. I haven't had it where all 3 screens just go black, especially it took a while for it to happen, but we have less applications running this time. Open the case on the PC. I don't know what's next, so we'll figure that out. But again, on this restarts, Millet, Tucker, West, Klusterhuis, Hash, Muniz, Drapeau, Coley, Patterson, Wiles, your top 10. As Wiles has been rebounding since that pit road penalty. He's been able to get back up to 10th. Again, doesn't look like race-ending damage for the 89 machine. But again, it looks like we see numerous cars who might be out of this race. The 48, the 9, and the 51 with damage here tonight. But here we go. We're going to get ready to go into that restart zone again. And Millet's on it, and we're back racing here from Texas. Again, it doesn't look like the outside line is the preferred line to restart in, as West was able to get around from get around Tucker. This is going to give the true opportunity for Millet tonight, as West has truly seemed to be the best car in the long run, able to stay the tire the best, see what he can do here. Potentially put a challenge on Millet before we get towards pit stops or anything. He's in the best position he's been all night long to challenge Millet for the race lead. As Tucker is going to be side by side with Brandon Klusterhuis through 1 and 2. Klusterhuis able to clear him, move back up to 3rd here. Tucker again restarting the outside lane, did not do well for him. I don't know if they had any sort of teammate countdown. I know some teams do that when you're on the front row together, 3, 2, 1, go type of situation here. I don't know if that's the case, or the outside lane is just not the preferred lane to start in on restarts. As Kluster is now trying to reel in the 0-1 machine here. You see Kevin Hash is going to think potentially might have learned something here from Drapeau from stage 2. As Kluster goes side by side with West through 3 and 4. He's going to move up to 2nd here West might be thinking, hey, you can go ahead and go now, but I'm going to get you back a little bit later here. I have a little bit something on you for saving tire. As Kluser's now going to see if he can put any sort of challenge on Millet here, who's led all 81 laps tonight. Josh Culley's now going to challenge Dalton Tucker. This is a battle for fourth inside of Tucker here. 33 has the advantage through most of 3 and 4. But he's not going to be able to clear him here as Tucker's going to use a run from that higher groove to can keep fourth for now. Again, not truly missing anything. So I don't have iRacing control open. I can't really tell if the 19 cars still out there. Right now is only one of those cars who have damages on pit road. He's currently fixing that damage. He's been on there for about 6 laps here. So rough night for him here. As again, Culley has been in the best position here off of 4 to try to complete the pass. And I think he will. No, he won't. Tucker will stay side by side with him through 1 and 2. Really pinning him down here. They make contact after number 2. Tucker's going to have the advantage down the back straightaway and using that higher line. But it looks like he might have gave up that spot for now. I think I need to go back and read the post about this because I believe there's something interesting about Josh Culley when it's here at Texas. When we've raced the Premier Series here at Texas, Josh Culley has won the last 2 races. He's trying to go for 3 in a row here at Texas, while Millet's trying to go 3 in a row in the season. So, a couple guys trying to pull off a 3P here. Culley right now running some of the fastest laps here in the top 5. Trying to get himself in that spot, potentially go 3 in a row here at Texas. But he's got a couple cars to pass here. He's going to now look at the inside of West. And he's able to complete that pass here. I think West might be in that spot to try to conserve a little bit tire to use that back end of the run while some of these guys have essentially destroyed those tires. Again, you're truly not missing anything. I mean, the gaps throughout most of the field is the same gaps you see here up front. It's about a 1/10 of a second, 2/10. I mean, Wiles is now challenging Patterson here, but that's going to fall back to about 2/10 of a second here. Like it did for the race lead, is about 2.5 tenths between Kluserhuis and Millet. Getting Josh Culley's up to 3rd. Pretty sure he's one of the higher movers in the race today. Don't know if he got a qualifying lap in. But West looked like he had a decent run there off of 4. Was able to get to the back bumper of Culley, but wasn't truly able to do anything with it, as Culley did run a 30-second lap there. So I don't know if he's going into saving mode or not. But these guys are